Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Wicked Bee of the West YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Stephanie Diana Eubank. I teach operational management over at Stan State. I also teach lean operations and supply chain management, and I have a doctorate of business administration from Concordia University of Chicago. So, I am also the sole proprietor of Wicked Bee of the West Consulting. So we've been going on this adventure of a series specifically on the different types of isolation we see in the workplace. And traditionally, within business research, the only forms of isolation that have really been researched have only been for remote workers and only focused on isolation from leadership, isolation from the physical location of work, and the social isolation that happens from remote work. However, as we're seeing with multimodality, both for hybrid, in-person, and remote, we're seeing that workers are feeling isolation from leadership and the overall organization causing disengagement. And so we're going over all the different types of isolation. And today's form that we're going to discuss, and again, this affects both remote workers, in person, and hybrid, is called operational isolation. What is operational isolation? It's basically where leadership takes too long to get documentations, information, or other supports that teams need to be able to function properly. And there's some easy steps that operational leadership can take to prevent issues like that. Specifically, we're going to look at for the workforce, operational leadership to prevent operational isolation can limit documentation barriers or patterns regarding delays in communication, using shared workspace ticketing systems or digital tracking so that you create more visibility to better support any work requests or corrections, proactively requesting access to tools or permissions as soon as tasks arise to avoid workflow disruptions, building relationships cross-functionally, not internally internally, but with other business partners as well. That way you're able to escalate or clarify any operational issues. And lastly, participate in user groups or system improvement committees. Too often, and we especially see this in project management, software development, and in database design, where we're planning for the workforce we wish we had, pie in the sky ideals, and not looking at what we have. So that way we're able to develop software and databases and other usability tools that are for the team that we have and learn how to better enhance our team that we have. And unfortunately, in this current economy, it's no longer financially feasible in the long term to just say, oh, well, we don't have the team we want. Let's lay off everybody and get the team we want. That's creating such a cyclical aspect of business that we're seeing higher rates of disengagement and lower rates of people wanting those positions. And companies, unfortunately, building a bad rep. There's also ways that those in leadership can help reduce operational isolation because, again, we can't just look to our workers to fix the problems of leadership. Leadership has to also work hand in hand and remember a human focused workforce and leadership style is important, especially as we move towards AI. With more and more AI tools, we have to remember the human element specifically because AI is not perfect. It's not there yet. We need to help support so that way it becomes a tool, not a competition. But again, how leaders can better reduce operational isolation, create more visibility within their auditing process to identify workflows and other things that are delaying your employees, whether they're in person, remote, or hybrid. Creating a remote first SOP that clearly illustrates what tools, approvals, supports should function for the distribution of teams. Also implementing service level agreements for IT and operational response, training managers on remote team leadership and in-person team leadership. It really is a callback to our earlier, more traditions of business leadership, where when you became part of management, you got training on how to manage. Nowadays, you're promoted because you're good at your job and you're not given any tools on how to manage or lead. And we really need to get back to that where we're giving our leaders the tools they need to be able to do the job that we need. Again, it's symbiotic. And if we don't treat our workforce and our leadership teams like they are part of the process, we're going to lose them all to disengagement. And that doesn't matter whether you're in a remote, in person, or a hybrid modality. That's all I have for today. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. And as always, remember, remote work, it's here to stay.